State, followed by greetings from Mr. Milt Rawls of State Farm, followed by my athletic director, Mr. Eugene Marshall, in that order. Thank you. Mr. Milt.
Thank you so much, and good morning to everyone in attendance. On behalf of our president, Adrien Moore Jr., and the family of Norfolk State, we'd like to thank you for extending the invitation for us to participate today. Each year, we meet in such an arena to prepare for one of the most important games in the Hampton Roads for the year. For years, this has been a great event, well anticipated by our fans and student athletes, as well as the coaches. And I am delighted to still be a part of this great moment, because as we were riding over from Hampton, I was talking about how many years I've been coming over here as a student athlete, coach, and now an administrator. So this is really a high moment for this area and the football fans. We are excited to be a part of this great rivalry, and we would like to thank the supporters of this State Farm for all the support that they have given us to continue this great event. I had a chance to, Coach, check out your new rug out there on the field, and I guess State Farm has been good to you. So I'm going to go back and find out what we need to do. So on behalf of Norfolk State, thank you. We look forward to a great game. It's always been exciting, and we hope both teams well, but we hope the green and gold bring home the bacon.
Good morning. We would like to welcome you on behalf of our Senior Vice President, Tim McFadden, and our Marketing Director, Cynthia Davenport, and our agents who make this possible. I've learned well from my training at Hampton University, when I get up to speak, it's always welcome you on behalf of our president, Dr. William R. Harvey. I don't see him in here, but every time I've been to a Hampton function, that's the opening remarks. Welcome you on behalf of Dr. William R. Harvey. So when I speak, I always like to give acknowledge to our vice presidents and our senior leaders. Since 1999, it has been a goal of State Farm to sponsor the Battle of the Bay on both sides of the water. We first approached Hampton, and they had a sponsor, another sponsor in the athletic department. Well, we kept pegging. We finally achieved that goal. This will be the 8th time we have sponsored the Battle of the Bay, 7th at Norfolk State University. The partnership has been beneficial to State Farm in numerous ways, including connecting our products with this enduring football rivalry between two of the nation's most prestigious historically black universities. State Farm is the #1 insurer in cars, home, and life insurance in the nation. It is so important that you talk to everyone you know about life insurance, because life insurance has continued many educations and continued many lifestyles. I always have to add a little bit of humor to this when I come here, and some of you might know and some of you might not know. I graduated from Hampton University back several years ago, but my pastor is here today and his fiance. He only knows Behold the Green and Gold because he went to the Norfolk State Hampton University basketball game. But his fiance is a graduate of Hampton University and teaches at Norfolk State University. So guess what? We can bring a little bit of rivalry there somehow, some way. Pastor, raise your hand. But this can bring a little bit of rivalry because he came back to church and he had everybody in the church to say, Behold the green and gold. Now, several people there are Hamptonians, so we have to help him learn about the Pirates. So that's our job this afternoon. Help him learn about the Pirates because he only knows the green and gold. So, but in conclusion, these kids really want to beat each other and to have the bragging rights of Tidewater. So please remember the reason for all of this is these kids to get a great college education. That's the reason for all of this at the end of the day. And State Farm is in the sales business. Please support our local agents that support these great universities. State Farm Associates, please stand. We have Darrell Hines, an agent, Norfolk State graduate from Chesapeake, Virginia. We have Tammy McClooney, who's agency recruiting. If you need a job, see Tammy. We have Ken Crowder, agent in Norfolk, Virginia. And we have Vince Lockhart, agency administrator in the Tidewater, well, the whole state of Virginia and Maryland. So thank you, guys. These are the people that support you. Thank you, and may the best team win.
Sometimes it's good to be lucky. Good morning, everybody. Morning. Sorry I was late, but they make you work around here. I didn't think you're supposed to do that. I thought you're supposed to have some fun. But again, good morning and welcome to Hampton University, our home by the sea. It's my honor to welcome everyone here to our press conference to talk about as we prepare for Saturday's Battle of the Bay. Hampton University and Norfolk State University here at Hampton. I'm just learning about this, and I just found out the other day that it's now a classic. So we've gone away from the regular game, so it's become a classic. But as a newcomer, I've learned about some history over the time that I've been in athletics. It goes back to Army-Navy, goes back to Northeastern BU, and even a smaller level, Polytechnic and Pratt Institute, where they're probably at their 150 game. And then even up in New York where we had Iona versus Manhattan. But to come down here and all I've been hearing about, I have some good friends that are Norfolk State fans and some good friends, of course, that are Hampton fans, and that's all I've heard. And then Coach Miller met my uncle in the summer, and they got into it a little bit. His nephew's at Hampton and he's at Norfolk. So it's a big deal. I'm happy to be a part of it. I look forward to the game. I look forward to everybody being in Armstrong Stadium. And the outcome, I look forward to Hampton kind of pulling away and see if we can win this one. I think Coach Maynor and I deserve another victory. So y'all can help us out with that. I'd appreciate it. But again, I want to thank everybody for coming. It's going to be a great weekend, and I'll turn it back over to the MC.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall, for being right on time. Pastor, it's okay. My pastor over here, he went to Hampton. Great love. The voice of the Pirates, Reverend Ballroom. Just want to let you know, I want to shout out my pastor, too. There it is, Rev. Tell him. All right. At this time, we'll hear from the coaches. First coach will be Coach Pete Adrien. Coach Adrien has an overall record of 88, 94, and 1. Emphasis on the 1. What you don't see a lot anymore is someone having a tie at the end of their record. That tells you that they've been around a long time. They know football. No, that's not a bad thing, Coach. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. In his 10 seasons at Norfolk State, Coach Adrien has an overall record of 52 and 57. Coach Adrien is 3-6 overall against Hampton. At this time, I give the mic to Coach Adrien.
Thank you. First of all, I got to sell a little bit. Milt, I've had State Farm Insurance now for over 40 years. House, home, okay, everything. So we were looking at that rug out there, and I'm figuring $2,000 a year donation for 40 years, $80,000 would be a nice little down payment for that turf, wouldn't it, Marty? So, we ought to be able to work that out. I've been all over the country now, Idaho, Texas, West Virginia, the whole 9 yards. So, call your people and say, we want to help this school out over here. So try to get on an equal phrase right there. This is our version of the backyard brawl. And one thing I was fortunate when I played at West Virginia, we had a team called Pittsburgh that was about 60 miles away. And you talk about the backyard brawl, that thing went on forever. It played for over 100 years, and they canceled it about 2 years ago when West Virginia decided to go to the Big 12 and everybody was going every place out. And I think that's one thing that's really hurting college football overall is the lack of the rivalries are disappearing because of money. Texas doesn't play Texas A&M anymore, on and on. You don't see that. And this is one thing that I think is so important to college football is these rivalries that we have here. I mean, the Hampton game, since day one, has always been a big game for both schools. And I know that because half the time the Hampton players at our place in the off season, and all they do is talk about that game. And it's nicer when, yeah, you got us, coach, this year, but we're going to get you next year. And it's always been a good, clean, fun rivalry out there, and that's the way it should be. You know, the guys like to play hard. They play against each other in high school, and it goes on and on and on. And that's what makes it so intense. And, you know, I know all you have to say, whether you're at Hampton or you're at Norfolk State, when it's game week that week, I'm sure Coach is saying Norfolk State, and I'm saying Hampton. If you got to say any more than that, you shouldn't be ready to play football. And I know both teams will be ready to go. They always are. And they'll be excited about playing each other, and they'll play the full 60 minutes. So it should make for a great game. We're going to have a great day out here weather-wise. And, you know, I'm sure to go right down to the wire because all our games go right down to the wire. It doesn't make any difference right now what it is, but that's where we are right now. I think offensively, there's no question that Hampton gives you a lot of problems. You know, they're throwing the ball over the lot. They got screens left and right and left, middle, back, whatever you want to name it like that. Of course, my secondary coach was with me for 9 years, so one thing I had to do this week, which we did, Coach, we've changed all our defensive singles. So you can tell Marco that, you know, this doesn't mean anything anymore. So he can look. In fact, I hope he calls that something like that. If you want to think that's too deep zone, go right ahead, because you'll be in trouble, okay? So, you know, we've changed all that stuff out there for that stuff. And, again, that's part of the rivalry right there that goes on. But, again, it's going to be – I think you got two teams that are going to be pretty even. They're going to play hard because just like last year, you throw the records out. The records don't mean anything. This is going to be a hard-fought football game by both teams, and that's what college football is supposed to be about. That's the fun of it, and that's the excitement. I really hope the place is full over here so people can see a great game. I think I'm supposed to open up for questions now. Is that correct? Anybody have any questions? Kutztown, 1985, 7-7. How about this? Would you believe it? We fumbled at the 1 yard line going in the last play of the game. Would you believe that? It only happened to you once, right? It should only happen to you once. That's true. I still got the film to prove it. It's on 16 millimeter, but it doesn't make any difference. Any other questions? Yes. Who do you want to start? Well, here's what we're doing. We actually have a pot right there. We put 3 names in it. We pull it out. We say, you're the man. We'll have to find that out on Saturday, all right? Any other questions? All right, thank you very much. Come out and enjoy the ball game.
I think I'll forget about that game also. That's a tough one right there. Next up, we have my head coach, Coach Carnell Maynor. Coach Maynor has an overall record of 46-11 in 5 seasons. First year at Hampton is not telling of who he is. We have 1-5 record right now. One thing I've learned in short time with Coach Maynor, they made a song, I think, that was about Coach Maynor. All he do is win. Coach Maynor.
Thank you, Maurice. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Good. It's my first year in this rivalry, and you know, I'm accustomed to rivalries, big games. You know, at Winston, you know, we had rivalry games. We played North Carolina A&T. When I was there, we played them every year. When I was at Winston, we only played them 1 year. But it was a great rivalry. It's like another homecoming. And like Coach said, black colleges need more of these games. A prime example is this is my seventh press conference. Normally we average about 5 people in the press conference. And as you can see, we got all these people here today. So that tells you how big it is. You know, we got visitors, we got the visiting coach, we got players. We never had that before. So that tells you the magnitude of this game, how big it is to Norfolk State University and Hampton University and the alumni and the friends and this community. And so it is a great event. It's here this year. We're expecting a great game also. Norfolk State has a good football team, a very good football team. They're very good on defense, and they're sound and solid on offense. And like Coach said, they had a close game every game. You know, they very easily can be 5-1 right now. or 1-5. But I think they're not either one of those. But you know, the games they've been in, they could have won them all, they could have lost them all. And you know, you got to keep playing. And you know, we had some tight games, and our last couple games we felt could have went the opposite way, but they didn't. So we got to keep fighting. We're in the same boat as they are. We both need wins, and we're gonna come out Saturday and play for 60 minutes and try to get this W against our arch rival. And not only is it Norfolk State, it's on national TV again, and so it's on ESPN. It's gonna be delayed. So it's huge. It's huge for us, our program and their program. And we just want to try to come out on the winning end and get our fortunes to turn a little bit, and so are they. So we're looking forward to the challenge of meeting Norfolk State and Coach Pete and his football team. And we're not going to be looking at their signals. We just kind of read the defense. We try to read the defense anyway. So we don't try to steal signals. We're going to try to look at the coverage. We're going to try to watch that safety coach. If he's sneaking back to the middle, we think it might be 3.
He's lining up right over the center.
Right over the center? Okay, we got to get a post snap read then. With the pre-snap read ain't gonna do us no good. We got to get a post snap read. See what he do after the snap, Reverend Barber. Is if he gonna roll to that hash or not, you know? And we'll be watching him. So it's all fun and games, but we're excited about it. And I open up for questions. Now, some of y'all got to have some questions. All of y'all here, what did y'all? Okay, Coach.
Who's your starting quarterback? They're asking me all the time. I wanted to ask that time.
Okay, he right there, Jay Williamson. He's sitting right there. We put a name in the hat and we pull one out and tell you, hey, you the man. I know you got some questions, Dave.
What did you guys emphasize after the after the last loss? Because you had an extra couple of days.
Finishing, competing for 60 minutes. You know, we came out and I thought we played very well the first half of the North Carolina A&T game. Actually, I thought we kind of dominated that game. You know, we was up 14-7. They won. Their touchdown came on a long run. You know, so they had one play there in the first half that they hit. You know, you take that play away and we got a 14-point lead, and then we almost got a touchdown pass right before the half that we overthrew the guy. If we get that, it could be 21-7. So we played good in the first half, but then, you know, I guess we thought the game was won. It was only a 30-minute game. We didn't come out and execute in the second half. We didn't play well on offense or defense in the second half. We gave us some one-play drives in the second half, and we had guys in position to make plays, and they didn't do it. So we had to get that correct. It kind of, you know, the game of football is very simple. It's tackling, blocking, you know, execution, and we didn't do a very good job of that. And so we kind of just refocused on that and making the plays when you got a chance to make the play, live in the moment.
Yeah, 1-5 obviously isn't where you want to be. What do you feel like the mood and the vibe of the team has been this week? You know, you feel like you still, you know, the kids are still practicing hard, still engaged as they were earlier in the season?
Oh yeah, we got to. You got to. You can't live off last week. You know, if you win the game or you lose the game. If we was 5-1, we can't live off the fact that we 5-1. Then we're gonna just beat Norfolk State because we 5-1. We still got to prepare to continue to do the things that we did to get to 5-1. To try to get to 6-1 if that was the case. And so it don't matter if you're 1-5 or you're 5-1. You still got to go through practice every single day and go full speed to try to get better as individuals so we get better as a football team and be prepared to play on Saturday. And so that's not going to change. The record's not going to change where we work and compete during the week. But what we got to do is get stuff corrected, correct those mistakes and don't make those same mistakes and finish games and play for 60 minutes to get a different result. Yes, sir.
I recognize that this is your first year here at Hampton University, and you really not had a chance, I guess, to recruit your own players over the year. But how long do you think it would take you to turn the 1-5 into a 5-1?
Now I'm a little different, you know. Next year. That answer your question?
Coach, I have a question here. This is a national televised game. It's together. Any impact you think that hyping that up with the players, or they already hyped for that because they know when the game's over, they can go back, turn the TV on with parents and looking at this game. So we're very proud for it to be a so televised game.
Yes, I think I don't think this game needs any more hype. You know, just battle of the Bay. You know, Norfolk State, Hampton University. That's all it needs. You know, that's extra. The ESPN is extra, and probably whoever loses the game probably ain't gonna watch the game that night. I know I ain't if we lose. You know, so you know, I don't think Coach probably will if they lose. You know, if we win, I probably watch it. You know, but other than that, you know, I don't think the game needs any extra hype. I don't think you can add anything extra to it. You know, it is what it is. It's Hampton versus Norfolk. So, you know, I think the kids been waiting for this, you know, a long time, and now it's here, and so they ready. I think both teams will be ready to perform at a high level. Sir, what's your name again? Yes, sir. Mr. Kenneth. Crowder? The reason I say that is we 1-5, right? Yeah, I only lost 6 games in my career before this, you know, in 4 years. So I don't like losing. And so you're right. Now, we got some talent here, and I told people at the beginning of the year that we had talent with our first teamers that we can compete this year. And if you watch our games, we've been competing. We've been in games. But we don't have a lot of depth. We can't afford a lot of injuries. And we have had some injuries. But one thing you can learn about me, I don't complain. I never said in the paper one time that we had this guy go down, and we're doing this. You know, I think that's what losers do. Losers complain. Winners find a way. You know, leaders, fathers, role models find a way to feed their family, take care of their family. That's what winners do, and that's what I am. I'm a winner. So I'm going to find a way to get the right players in here with the players that we have and get this thing turned around. It ain't going to take me long. So,
You know, I have a second part to that question also.
mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a North Carolina fan,
Yes, sir.
and so you know, I know the history of Mississippi State and being in the CIAA and so I was wondering, you know, has the MEAC been everything that you thought it would be, as opposed to the reason the winning record we had in the CIAA?
Yeah, it has. I mean, I knew we had good football teams in the MEAC. I knew the games would be tough every year. Actually, I got a better record as a D2 coach against the MEAC than I do as a MEAC coach. I was 2-0 against the MEAC in D2. So I'm 1-5 right now. Well, 0-2 as a MEAC coach, and I'm 2-0 as a CIAA coach against the MEAC. So, yeah, it has. It's been everything I thought. You know, it's better athletes, faster, more depth. And so you got to be on your P's and Q's. You got good coaches. You know, every week, you know, you got another good coach you got to face, you know. So it is what it is, you know, and so you got to be ready to match those guys' intensity and have your guys prepared.
Coach, a little bit aside from football, saw you on TV a couple of weeks ago. I think you got a little acting career. Who would you double for? That was kind of, I was looking, see, I was like, that looked like Coach there. And they said you were doubling for somebody, but I kind of forgot that person you were doubling.
In any given Sunday, I was Jamie Foxx double, the quarterback. So I did all the stunt stuff except for the flip. You know, they try to get me to do the flip, but I told them, no, you get somebody else to do the flip. I'm not landing on my head and break my neck for no $3,000. You got your jackrabbit mine? But I did all the throwing, and then getting the helmet knocked off was me. Jumping over the top at the end of the game was me. It was a great experience to get to work with those guys. They was down to earth, very friendly. Al Pacino, Cameron Diaz, Dennis Quaid, Jim Brown, Jamie Foxx, Bill Bellamy, Dennis Quaid, you know, Oliver Stone, all those guys. You know, they was down to earth and great guys. It was a great experience. We actually practiced about 2 or 3 months, and then we start shooting about another 3 or 4 months. So it was a great atmosphere and great experience.
Coach, one last question. It's about educating for everything.
I don't know if I changed anything, but I know how I do stuff. And we put education first because, uh, you know, I told the guys, our goal is to win championship and graduate students. Our championships on the field, of course, is getting the ring, and our championship off the field is walking across that stage. And that's what it's all about because I tell them about the NFL. I know all of them want to play in the NFL, but the NFL stands for not for long. And, the average lifespan is 3 to 4 years. And so, and the reason why is because after that 4th year, you get your pension, and nobody don't want to pay that pension. So if you're not a starter after 3 years, you're going to get cut. And, if you make $2 million in those 3 years, they're going to tax, the government going to take half of that, so that's $1 million. So now you got $1 million over 3 years. You're going to buy your mama a house, you're going to buy a house, you're going to buy your daddy 2 Cadillacs, you're going to buy 3 cars, you're going to buy your mama a car. So how much money you going to have after 3 years in the league? You're going to fly up girls to the game, you're going to fly your homeboys up, you're going to fly your brother up to the game, you got to get them tickets. So after 3 years, you out the league, how much money do you have? You don't have nothing. You broke. And everybody think you got money. Everybody's still going to be asking you for money. And if you don't have a little piece of paper to fall back on, what are you going to do? You're going to be 26, 27 years old. You're going to live to be another 50, 60 years. What are you going to do without that little piece of paper? And so that's why we enforce study hall. We suspend players for missing study hall, being late for class. We be there before the class and check classes and make sure they're there on time. Because they ask us, Coach, why y'all in class 10 minutes before the class, 5 minutes before the class? Well, we're not there before the class started. How are we going to know if you was there before it started? If we come check 15, 20 minutes after class started, we don't know if you was late or not. So, they understand that we're going to be there early, so they're going to be there early. You can't be late for practice. You can't be late for class. Okay, you can't miss practice. You can't miss class. Okay, you can't miss study hall. You can't be late for anything. So I had a guy miss weights this morning. He's not going to dress this week. Very simple. He'll be the one on the sideline. He'll be the one on the sideline with no pads on. So that's what it's about. My job is not only to win football games, but it's to graduate these guys, to make them better fathers, role models, leaders, husbands, and that's what I'm gonna do. Gotta have some more questions. Martin, I know you got a question. Okay. Dana. See, I'm not like Coach. Coach said, okay, that's it. No more questions. Sit down.
You're at home.
Oh, I know what I meant to tell you, sir. The reason I say that, the real reason, I'm going to tell you the secret. And I told coaches this in the CIAA, and I told the coaches in the MIA. The real reason that I've been successful is because I put God first. And it's power in the tongue. So you ask me, I'm telling you, we're going to be good next year. We're going to get the thing turned around next year. I'm speaking it into existence. Okay? It's power in the tongue. You don't have to believe that. You can believe what you want. You can do what you want to do. Look at my record. I keep God first. Look how successful I've been. I will continue to be successful because I will continue to keep God first. Now, you never see anything about this in the paper or the newspaper or the cameras because they always cut it out. They don't like that type stuff. So the only time you can ever get that is when you go live, which we don't have a lot of live situations that they do interviews with us. Because if they don't, they will never put that in the paper. They'll never put that on TV. You'll never see that when they okay, Hampton football next, Coach Maynor's next. You'll never see anything about that because that's what they don't want to put that in the paper or on TV. So the only time you're gonna ever hear a coach talk about that is when it's live, like right now. So that's the reason why I've been successful. That's the reason I'm gonna continue to be successful in everything that I do. I've been married for 18 years to the same lady, happily married for 18 years. I'm glad to go home to my wife every day. My daughter's 14. I bring her by the office. I had her by the office when I was in Winston-Salem. I don't neglect my daughter or the time with her because I'm a football coach. I have my priorities in straight. God, family, and my job. Well, he came in, him and his mama came in, and I just told him some of the same stuff I just told you about the person I am, what type of person I am, what we're going to do at this program. If you don't do this, you're going to do that. Nobody's big in the football team. I didn't promise Phil Sims a starting job. I told him, you got to come in and earn it. If you beat him out, you win the job. If you don't, if you want somebody to promise you the starting job, you need to go somewhere else. I don't do that. I'm going to play the best player. You're going to earn it here. That's how I got Phil Sims. So it is what it is. I'm a straight shooter. If you don't want to know the truth, don't ask me.
Coach, I got one last question.
Yes, sir.
I read about you, reading the paper, a lot of your comments. You said coming to Hampton University, but get your tickets early because it's going to be sold out. Went over to Norfolk State, Valley Bay State Farm historically, 27,000, 30,000 people a day. Come over here, 15,000, 16,000. How do we get the fans back at these facilities, at these games?
Well, we can't put 27,000 out there. We're going to get locked up. We got it. If we get 20,000 seats, then we can probably get 25,000 people. We get 20 in the seats and another 5,000 walking around. I think Norfolk Stadium is a little bigger than ours, any coach. And so that's probably why that you can get more over there than here. And so, I told President at the opening press conference that, we're gonna have to have a bigger stadium because once we start winning, people are gonna start coming. We don't want to turn nobody away. We want everybody to be able to see the show. Any other questions? I don't mind answering questions. Maurice? Yeah, I don't think there's any more questions. All right, thank y'all. Thanks for coming. Thank you, State Farm.
Just two quick housekeeping items before Maurice takes over. Want to thank State Farm again and Mr. Rawls for all the support and everything that he's done. I also want to thank our marketing and promotions department with Mr. Dana Hubbard and Pamela Richardson for really doing the legwork to making sure that everything was great. And I will take 18,000 to 20,000 people on Saturday. We will find accommodations. Don't worry about it. So come on down. Mr. Williams. We'll let them watch it from Norfolk State.
Once again, we want to thank everyone for coming out. Once again, the game will kick off here at Armstrong Stadium at 1 p.m. The game will be televised on ESPNU, tape delayed for a 10 p.m. start. It will be live on ESPN3.com. I would like to thank Matt Mahalik for all his help. At this time, if anyone wants to do one-on-one interviews, you can do them at this time. We also have light refreshments in the defensive room. Please stick around. Thank you. You'll have a good afternoon.